Next at 10, the weather Jerry describes as perfect once we get past the storms, and the tragedy exactly 118 years ago today at a building where a water tank fell from the roof this morning.
This is ABC 7 News at 10, Chicago's #1 news.
A water tank comes crashing down from the top of a 10-story building in Chicago, injuring 3 people, one of them critically. There are more than 150 rooftop water tanks throughout the city, raising concern about safety in other neighborhoods tonight. And the landmark Brewster building where the tank fell has been cited for violations in the past.
The accident happened this morning in the 2800 block of North Pine Grove, which is where ABC 7's Stacey Baca is live tonight with the story. Stacey.
Ron and Kathy, the 3 people who were injured, were in this parking lot when that water tower toppled right there. 2 of them are still in the hospital tonight, including a 27-year-old woman who's in critical condition. Sources are telling us she is expected to survive. In the meantime, we talked to the Chicago Buildings Department about this. There have been building code violations, but the department says the number and extent of violations do not suggest that the building is neglected or poorly maintained. The water tower toppled 10 stories and crashed onto the parking lot below. A dramatic scene that injured 3 people.
It just sounded like a loud crash, almost like a car accident or something like that. So I looked out the window and I just saw water gushing out into the street.
One of the victims, Bertha Ocampo, is back home tonight. A young woman and her boyfriend were also hurt. They were getting into this car.
I was talking to her 5 minutes prior to that happened, and she looked in so much pain when they were trying to help. She wouldn't stop moving. She couldn't understand what they were saying properly.
The ABC 7i team has learned a citation was issued after that tank failed an inspection 3.5 years ago. The city ordered a structural engineering report, and a few months later, the building passed a follow-up inspection. Tonight, the building's management tells ABC 7 they are working with the city and inspectors.
The response I got was no reason to think that anybody has overlooked it at all, and that everybody has done their due diligence, and that no corners have been cut.
My understanding is the building has plenty of inspections, and we are always spending money with anything that they tell us to do.
This is what the rooftop looks like tonight. Contractors say the water tower was still in use. They say water is flowing tonight, and they'll be back in the morning to fix the system.
We had to do like a temporary fix, like a bypass line, and that'll work during a night until we fix the problem in the morning.
Across the city, there are more than 150 of these water towers on rooftops, and the city's buildings department tells us that, generally speaking, they are inspected every 5 years. Reporting live in Lakeview tonight, I'm Stacey Baca, ABC 7 News. Kathy?
Okay, Stacey, thanks. The I-team started investigating the background of that building right after today's accident. And while uncovering the information that Stacey reported about the citation, they also discovered a death that occurred at that building more than a century ago. Back then, the building was called the Lincoln Park Palace. In 1895, the builder Bjorn Edwards, a prominent Chicago publisher, was on the rooftop supervising final construction. While directing work crews, he fell from scaffolding to his death. Edwards plunged through the open courtyard and into the lobby. That accident was exactly 118 years ago today.